good afternoon. I'm here today with Mrs. Pratima Sinha. She's actually a personality that needs no introduction. She has been in the education field for about 40 years. She has headed institutions covering almost all the boards, CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, IB. She's currently the CEO of DSR Education Society. And I thought today I will chat with her about the challenges that the education sector in general or without exception is facing in the teacher recruitment and teacher retention. The shortage of teachers, if I can call it, and if I can add an adjective to skilled teachers instead of just teachers. So I'm sure you, in your vast experience, you might have come across this challenge. So I'm curious to know how you're currently handling this challenge.
Thank you so much, sir. And yes, it's a major challenge that not only our organization or me as such is facing, but it's across. Whenever we meet heads of institutions in conferences and all, everybody is talking about from where to get the teachers, and that too skilled teachers. We may get teachers who are qualified and are good in their subject knowledge, but today the connectivity with the students is more important. The way we teach in the classroom is it's gone through a drastic change. Earlier it used to be just okay, textbook knowledge and the notebook, and we used to come out of the classroom. But today it is a lot of connect with the new generation because they want that the one-to-one kind of connectivity that is required. We talk about differential learning. The teachers need to understand that how 25 students in their classroom are not the same. They're very different. Each one is different. So how do I cater to them? So teaching today is a challenge, and that is where we have to really support them, guide the teachers. Even if I take a teacher who's experienced with subject knowledge and the right qualification, she still has to be trained according to the philosophy and understanding of the school.
Why do you think it is the last choice for a teacher, for a person aspiring? I mean, teaching is probably the last choice for many people. Why do you think we brought it to this stage?
uh, in the sense,
That I mean, if you ask any uh, student, maybe in their degree or even in their early years in the school, maybe in the sixth grade, what do you want to become? Would you like to become a teacher? You don't get answers, or nobody says teachers. As compared to maybe the good olden days when the gurus were treated as the first citizens in that particular village or neighborhood or community. What has happened? Why is this whole transformation taking
I, I,
place?
I personally feel that teachers profile or teacher's job is not considered very lucrative, because maybe because of the salaries and remunerations that are offered to them compared to the other job profiles. Very rarely you find teachers who are really committed to what they are doing. It used to be, earlier it used to be said that, okay, if you want to take it easy because there are summer vacations, there are winter vacations, so you're sitting free, so why don't you take up a teacher's job? But as I said earlier, that teacher's job is no more just going into the classroom teaching and coming out. It has got a lot of more attached to it. A teacher is a counselor today, the teacher is a mentor today, the teacher is a silent listener today. So there are many aspects that have come in, but the I think the main point is the remuneration that the teacher takes back home at the end of the day. So that is what is, I think, hampering or holding on, or is a deterrent to people taking up teaching job. I think somewhere we have to really make it more lucrative for them. for the new generation to take it up, or maybe motivate our students to take up teaching as a job. And that is, I feel, it should be, we should take the responsibility of that rather than promoting just the engineering or medical and all those kind of things, or IPS or IS jobs. I think the teaching job should be promoted by us.
It's
That is,
actually a very paradoxical situation because very often, and very rightly so, the teaching profession is treated as the mother of all professions.
yeah.
That you create doctors, you create engineers. But it's sad to see that we have very few entrants into the profession right now. Um,
I'll
so,
give you a short example on this.
yeah, go ahead.
I remember a long time back, I'd seen an advertisement of Maruti saying that a doctor will get so much discount if they buy the car, engineer will get so much discount if they buy a car, or so and so army personnel will get a discount if they buy a car. There was no discount for teachers.
Teachers.
Why? Why is the society not thinking about the teachers?
Mm.
Why is the government not thinking about the teachers? Private school teachers are doing extremely well. They're trained by the schools. Why don't we think about them and give them some motivation? So that's where I feel that all of us have to come together and
Absolutely.
create that motivational, aspect to the teacher's job.
Motivational aspect, and I think some sort of connection with the remuneration where it is at least meets their basic needs and gives them a comfort zone where they don't have to bother. And all these things that you talked about, the concessions or discounts or insurance, these are some of the things that I think can be thought of without a lot of money being invested, um, especially in the private sector where a large number of students are going or attending schools in the private sector. Okay. What about retention? Do you face challenges there also as compared to the entry level?
Absolutely. Retention is one of the biggest challenges with so many schools coming up, in the vicinity every year. To retain the teachers is not an easy task. So that's where the schools have started giving a lot of liberties, a lot of concessions, and a lot of incentives to the teachers to retain them. But I personally feel, that is my personal feeling, that sense of belongingness, if it doesn't come into the teacher towards the organization, it is very, very difficult to retain anybody for that matter, even if you give all sorts of incentives. So somewhere that sense of belonging has to be really, really, uh, you know, ingrained in the teachers, so that they feel. There are some schools where I know that salaries were not given for nearly 3 months, 4 months, because the organization didn't have that kind of funds, but still the teachers remained in those organizations. So there are, different different sides of the coin. But yes, the competition that is coming up, and that's where the teachers move out. And I don't blame the teachers. I'm being very frank, I don't blame the teachers, because everybody is looking for good remuneration.
Absolutely, absolutely. Um, do you think, uh, I think just like in other professions like doctors or lawyers or chartered accountants, there is a system of CPD, continuing professional development, where the efforts they put in terms of the workshops or seminars that they attend or the papers that they submit, they're given credits and they're recognized for the work that they do, which is missing entirely in the teaching field. You think something like this will work, especially in view of the fact that the government has thought about it, according to the NEP, and there is a credits framework that is about to be introduced. If this can be expedited, do you think it will have some impact on resolution of the
Definitely,
problem.
it will have an impact, but it's not that it's not happening.
Mhm.
Continuous professional development by from the school to the teachers. It's helped the teachers in um, from the teacher to becoming a coordinator, and there's a professional pathway that is shown to the teachers, because again that is part of the incentive. I mean, to retain the teachers, most of the schools are doing that, but not on a very very serious note as credit points and all that. But let me tell you, doctors we are quoting, but even the doctors I've seen, if a new hospital comes up, the whole lot of doctors move from this hospital to that hospital. So it's not only about the teachers, but I think it is happening in all the professions. But yes, credit points, if it comes formally from the government, it will be really good, and it will help the teachers to, you know, see what their future could be. And they would know, like we struggled to become what we are today. But if there's a professional, pathway which is shown to them, it will be easier for them to understand that where they will stand in next 10 years or 20 years. So
Uh, I think we are not just talking about the situation in India, but I think almost all the countries have gone through this crisis. I would call it a crisis, and some of them are still facing it. And I think some innovative actions have been taken in terms of adding to the pipeline in terms of creating a category of teaching assistants. I think in the UK and maybe the US, it's highly formalized. There is a separate category of teaching professionals who are considered as teaching assistants, and they contribute. And then maybe they are in terms of attending to the special needs or in terms of attending to the general pedagogy. You think something like that will work? Let's leave the government and other public sector aside. If you were given this opportunity to implement it in your own schools, group of schools,
we
you think
already
it would
have
be
this system in our school.
okay? That's nice.
You're talking about assistant teachers. We call them,
Yeah, they could be called
co-teachers.
anything.
We
Yeah.
call them co-teachers, especially in the pre-primary and primary classes. We have two teachers in a class,
Hmm.
and they are trained, or equally, they are given opportunities to work and understand how it goes, how teaching goes. And if we feel that they're really good, then we only give them, incentives to apply for some courses or something like that. So that is happening in many schools today, and it builds up our team also. I mean, it's a good way to build up our own team, and it starts from taking on an assistant teacher and training them and seeing that they are practically, in the classroom, and taking sessions for the students. So it is a good
Yeah.
way of working.
Yeah. Good to hear that.
Yeah.
Maybe we can try that out. Okay. Um, in terms of retention, is there
It
any
sorry, it
strategy?
also
Sorry.
helps in, in case the teacher is absent. There,
Absolutely.
always there's a substitution
Mm.
happening, and also it gives these teachers confidence that they can work alone and
Yeah.
on their own.
Yeah. And I think one good thing about that is when you have these assistant teachers helping in maybe the lesson planning or in the correction of the work or preparation of teaching learning materials or any of these things, it will free up the time of the co-teacher.
Especially now when we
Mm.
are talking about differential learning, we are talking about, how 25 students in the classroom have to be given that kind of attention, one to one attention. Every school is talking about it. So then to have a teacher, who is part of the classroom and helping the children to understand what it is. Maybe there are some students who can't immediately understand what the teacher has taught, so she's there to guide them separately and all that. So it really helps, and especially when we are talking about differential learning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there anything that you've tried on the retention perspective? Any good strategy that you would like to share where you've probably reduce the teacher turnover in your own institutions?
No, we have now, come up with a huge concession policy for the teachers because we felt that it will retain our we will be able to retain our teachers whose children are there with us. So we give them 100% concession after 3 years. So that has really helped. Then we have leave encashments that is really helping. Plus, we are always, give them that freedom to approach us, talk to us, that freedom, to be, and that flexibility to do what they feel is important, the creativity, the freedom to be creative in the, I think these are the things, and I said that sense of belongingness. If we have given them to the teachers, and this has really helped. I mean, teachers come back and say that we are so happy to be in the school. We have, happy hours. Saturdays, teachers are not in the classroom. They go out and they have a gala time on the playground. So all these things are all, to keep them motivated, because after pandemic, even the teachers were stressed
Oh,
out.
yeah, certainly.
So we had to come up with all sorts of strategies that it's not only see, if teachers are emotionally strong, then only they can deal with the students.
Right.
So to keep them emotionally strong, we had to really, really come up with a lot of emotional, well-being for our staff members. So this happy hours I'm talking about, and generally being very open to them and talking to them, and it's a very, very positive environment that is created in the school for the teachers to work. That really has helped.
Well, I think it's a universal challenge,
Yeah,
maybe, but it needs to be discussed
yeah.
in maybe bigger forums. And I think the industry and the teachers, educationists like you and us need to get together to resolve this. This is a crisis. Um, what we have just discussed, maybe a few points here and there, maybe just could be starters, but it needs definitely needs a lot more attention. But
And
thank you for your inputs
thank you
and your
so much.
wisdom. I'm sure if we take up any initiatives with respect to recruitment or retention of teachers, or as we discussed, the building up the pipeline, or in terms of making the teaching profession more attractive
Yeah,
to the teachers. Of course, we are discussing these things internally, but definitely we'll share these ideas
I
with you.
would
We'll
also
have to
like to add
work
on
with
that, we have to change our
it.
mindset.
Absolutely, absolutely.
As heads, as senior educators, we have to change our mindset. Only then it will filter down to our teachers. And as I said earlier, that teachers have to have a bigger role to play in today's society. It's not just a classroom teaching. So we have to change drastically the mindset of the teachers. They have to really become open, and feedback given has to be taken very positively, which I feel is a deterrent sometimes. So if we are open to feedback, I'm sure our staff members will also be open to feedback. So it all leads to the leader. From there, it filters down to the all the members of the organization. So we have to be very open minded
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
be clear of what is going to be the future for our students and work accordingly.
Yeah. As you said, we have to be open-minded. I mean, to even radical ideas like this, if you're going to be open to maybe people from other professions, like
Yes.
you have maybe engineers or
Yeah.
doctors, or who could maybe devote some time to come into a class and teach on a particular topic or this thing. And I think quite a few countries have tried this also, of welcoming. Uh, but again, it's a paradox. You're not able to welcome to the main teaching profession. But if you are able, if they are passionate enough, or they have gone through an experience themselves about how their children are learning, and if they come forward, maybe it would be a good idea to have some of the lessons being
I
taken.
would say that parent counseling also is important
Absolutely, again.
because parents today have got just two things in their mind and they cannot shift from that. So it's not only about teacher's job, but today there's so many opportunities, so many different new jobs, opportunities that have come up. Parents do need to be counseled for that.
Yeah.
It's not just engineering and medicine, there's so many, and the subject choices that have come up. So I think parent counseling is also a very important aspect to it.
Mm. We have to take the parents along in whatever we
Yeah,
do. That's
yeah.
no compromise there.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
thank you. It
Yeah,
was a very interesting conversation.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.